Hey, what's going on, Nick? Just sitting here. I got your text, and then I replied via a voice memo on iPhone because me and Tracy and a couple of other buddies do that sometimes. And for some reason, it didn't go through, and it could have been because of the reception out here. It could have been because of the internet. We're fixing to switch to Verizon, and so I've been messing with it ever since you texted, trying to figure this out. And like tried three different times. I've even emailed it to you, and then but it didn't want to go through. I emailed it to myself, but it's only the data packet. It's not the actual voice. Anyway, so I'm gonna record it one more time. Record this one more time and to make sure it gets to you tonight. But um, I got your text, man, and I hope you're doing well. And when I said other than that, Nick, what I was gonna say is I prefer not to chat. You know, again, I do hope you're doing well. And if there is something that you ultimately need, and it is an emergency, a high stressful, a high pressure situation, you need me, obviously. I'm gonna be there for you, man. But other than that, I prefer not to chat, man. You know, you're not a boy anymore. You're not in high school anymore. You are a young man, and for whatever reason, um, it doesn't seem that you can figure out as to why you treat us the way you do. And now that you are a young man, you are on your own, you're holding your own, and so on and so forth. It's time to get treated like a man. And in my world, my people around me, men and women or whoever it is, including my own mother, if there isn't respect and honor and a reciprocity, right, a give and a take, a yin and a yang of both parties reciprocating love, honor, respect, graciousness, thanksgiving, gratitude, and etc., then there's something wrong with the relationship. It gets broken, things get scattered, people get pushed under the rug, offense, and all. And I deal with all this stuff all the time. And while you were in high school, we let you do and be the way you were, and there was no good reason for you to treat us like that and barely talk to us, barely have us involved, barely allow us in your life. But I tolerated it, and I was like, he's in high school, he's a boy. Well, that time has passed, man. And it passed as soon as you went to the Navy, as soon as you got out of boot camp and you were on your own. I mean, even to have the issue and the questioning of whether I should attend boot camp, man, I had the hardest time with that, and I was very upset. But I pushed through, and obviously I forgive you. I'm not offended, and I do forgive you. But it doesn't mean I gotta like you, man. As I've said it before, I don't. People in my life, I don't tolerate this type of behavior, this type of mindset, and this type of treatment. I don't tolerate from anybody, and now that you're a man, it includes you, son. And I'm sorry that maybe this isn't going the way you thought it was going to go, but there's no reason for us to be treated as some second class citizens, man. I don't know why you think that we're less than Chris or less than Lindsay and that you can treat us like crap, but people don't treat us like crap, Nick. Nobody treats us like crap. And if you want to treat us like crap, then cool. We don't have to have a relationship. It's really that simple for me, man. And I know these things you don't understand. I live by a whole different set of the rules than most people, and that's why I am who I am, right? And this is why people come to us for help, because people have ran all over them. There's hurts, wounds, offenses, traumas, all kinds of pains and heartaches of these broken relationships because no one sets boundaries. There's too much mercy, too much people pleasing, and etc. and etc. and etc. And I've asked you many, many times, what is it? Is there something? Is there this or is there that? And there's nothing. You always say there's nothing. So if there's really nothing there, then what is your justification to treat Trinity and to treat me and to treat Tracy like crap, like we don't even matter? I mean, you even come to see your mom in Friona and you can't even stop by and say hi, man. I mean, you can't even call for Thanksgiving, Christmas, nothing. And as much as much as you are 10 and 25 and 100 times better than I am, I never treated my mom like this. I never, didn't give a flip about her and the way, when I was gone. When I was gone in when I left the house, you know, when I left La Misa, and I was her son, nowhere to be found, and so on and so forth. And but I mean, and you're not even like me, you know, and I didn't have a dad to do this to, and so but you do, and you can't say that I wasn't there. I have too many receipts. You know, you can't say that I was even not even like Daniel, like Nathan's dad. I was so much better and did all I could all up until high school, where you cut us off. You cut us off, and you decided to treat us like this. And so, and we just let you. We just step back in grace and say, okay, let him be. But you're not in high school no more, man. You are a young man, accountable for your actions, accountable for your responsibilities. And I know dadgum well you treat your sergeants and lieutenants and commanders with respect. And if they call, you answer. And if they text, you answer, and you are held accountable. And I'm sure with your mom too. But for some reason, we're just some pieces of trash that you can throw over here, and I don't allow people to treat us like that, Nick. And so unless you have something on me that you want to come and handle as a man and say, man, I do got something against you, and until you fix this and we fix this, we can't move forward, then great. Well, then let's talk about it, sit down, and we'll talk about it and do this. But if not, then the ball is in your court to walk in humility and repentance. Like men come to me whenever they've done something wrong, said something wrong, had a misunderstanding, had a misinterpretation, whatever it is. Many times I've had men, grown men, cry at my feet, Nicholas, because they were offensive and they were ugly toward me and they don't want to break the relationship. And I'm not even kidding you, man. You can ask Tracy. And so it's called walking in humility. If you need the definition, look it up. It's not thinking less of yourself, it's thinking of yourself less. And it's called walking in repentance and wanting to reconcile and salvage a relationship. And if that's what you want from us, then the ball is in your court. Whether it takes a day, tonight, whether it takes tomorrow, whether it takes next week, next month, next year, if it takes 10 years, man, and you want to walk like this and you're going to be this type of individual, then man, that's on you, Bubba. And I'm not going to stop you, and I'm not going to sit here and control you, but I can control me, and I don't tolerate people like this in my life. And so I'm sorry it is the way it is, you know. But again, you are a young man now, and you're big enough. You're big enough to treat us like this, and do and there was a time where you were young, and I try to be gracious, but that time has passed. And so, you know, even Crystal, you know, my mom's over here dying. Got probably like a month left, and now Crystal's getting her act right, you know, because she's having marriage issues and all kinds of stuff and doesn't have nobody, and now she's trying to get her act right, you know, because that's what the devil does. He brings and breaks relationship. And whenever you don't set boundaries and there's all these things, these misunderstandings, everyone gets their act right eventually. You know what I mean? Because they understand life is too short. The family is supposed to be important, and so on and so forth. And we're supposed to be family, and yet we're treated like we're less than. And I don't appreciate that, man. I don't appreciate that you know, all we did all that, and we were talking, and then you just ghost us. There's no common courtesy. If you're busy, then text you're busy. Hey man, I'm busy, can I get back with you? I'll call you back. And there's a reciprocation, there's a frequency, and it's not about being like my mom used to be with Christmas. You know, she's like, if you're not here at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, then we're all gonna break. There's not this strict control mechanism that I abide by. And sometimes people say, I'll call you back today. They don't call me back for 2 days. And I understand it. We're busy. But the point is whenever you want to have a relationship, there is effort from both sides, you know, and then there's grace that goes along with that. And this frequency, the pattern and a timeline is established with these things, you know. And then there's this mutual respect, this mutual understanding. And we know you're busy, I'll call you back here in a minute, or whatever it is. You know, I haven't talked to Tracy in 2 days, you know. I mean, but she's my wife. I know that she's going to be here because we moved out and all this stuff's going on. And anyway, um you know, Trinity misses you, and we all miss you. We all want to be a part of your life. We all want to know what's going on. We all want to hear your adventures, and we want to, but not at the expense that you treat us like crap. And it's really that simple. So again, the ball's in your court, man. Well, however long it takes, you know, whenever you're ready, you can text and say, hey, I want to sit down and let's get right and let's figure this out. And if not, then that's on you too. Hope you have a good life, and I wish you the best. I pray for you almost every day, if not every day, for a variety of circumstances and things. You know, obviously, I love you, and that will never stop. That ain't ever gonna change. And if ultimately, you're down and out or on the street or something's going down or whatever it is, where these bad scenario things that can happen, of course I will still be there to do what I can to the best of my ability, but a relationship is built on trust, on honor, respect, and for some reason you don't think that you got to show us anything, and for what we've done for you and how we've done, and the way we live, and all of these things, we don't deserve this, and many people agree with it, and so it's not really our loss, because according to most people, we're some pretty good people, and and maybe you just never saw that, and maybe that's what you haven't let go. And even when we were not the best of people, we still were good people. We still, we're trying to follow the Lord, and doing all that we could. And so and now it's gotten even better, and people are following us, because of our experiences and understanding. So I don't know what leg you have to stand on, but it's not going to stand with us. And so I knew this day would come. Again, I hope you're doing well. I hope all is well. And I do miss you very much. I think about you and pray for you all the time. And so, again, the ball's in your court. However long it takes, it's on you, man. Whenever you're ready, and you really want to sit down and talk about this and figure this out and ask to why, and walk in reconciliation and righteousness, let me know. Love you, man.